did a Bilderberg report dealing with my film, The Obama Deception, and how Barack Obama was clearly there, and how they helped kidnap the airplane full of media, telling him he was going to Chicago on his plane, but he didn't, and he went to Brook Street. Yeah. I mean, not Brook Street. He went to the Chantilly, Virginia Marriott, and Brook Street was 2006. So I would hope you'd get some of that in your article. There's a history of intimidation, shooting at Jim Tucker, that there's a history of threats, and that. What does this say about the global elite, that they're meeting in secret, setting the financial future? You know, the Bilderberg Group has leaked, and the BBC has even reported that they set up the European Union covertly, that they're setting up. I mean, this is a fact, sir. This is the group. If we arrested these people right now, and they've committed public crimes, most of them have, or at least started an investigation, the whole New World Order could end.
Yeah. I mean, what's fascinating, and it's such an obvious point that it's been made many times, but it's worth making again, is if these guys were doing something benign, if they were trying to organize a softball game or how to cure cancer, they'd do it in an upstairs room for Starbucks. You know, there's no need to hide good acts away from the public. There's no need to hide good intentions. You know, it's such an obvious point, but they've got a police helicopter flying around, and there's tinted windows, and you know, why? Well, we all know why, but if it was all so benign, I get the feeling it would be, you know, just a little bit softer around the edges.
How would you like being shot at?
Well, it's, you know, I pretty much got my fingers crossed that doesn't happen.
Well, they do that. They also call your wife just in case they do it, because this happens to everybody's wives. They'll call up and go, Hi, is Charlie there? And your wife will go, no, I'm serious. I'd call her before they do it.
Sorry, I'm laughing. But
no, I mean, they do this to most reporters. No, it's serious. They'll go, but I understand, but it sounds like a joke when I do it. The point is, hi, is Charlie there? No, he's not going to leave a message. Well, yeah, who's this? Well, this is his wife, Mrs. Skelton. That's impossible. I'm pregnant with his baby, and we're engaged. And then the woman will start crying and saying, well, I'll give you mine, you know. And then they'll call up. If you have a little dog in the backyard, they'll say, I'm watching your little white dog right now. You're like, excuse me? And then your wife looks out the window, and the dog's there and goes, yeah, and that's when I'm going to stab you and rape you. So, I mean, it's the government. They're watching the dog while they do it. I mean, it's real, bud. These people call your women up. So I just want you to know these are hardcore criminals you're dealing with. I mean, Zbigniew Brzezinski wrote a book 2 years ago bragging that what we already knew, he funded Pol Pot to kill 35% of the Cambodian population. These guys, Mr. Skelton, write books bragging about who they've murdered. You understand?
It's a very interesting point what you're making there, is that a lot of the documentation, a lot of the ideology behind the shift towards globalization, it's been printed. It's open. It's out in the open. It's kind of so big. The point I was making, I think, in one of my pieces, it's so big and so much out in the open. People don't see it. They're not reading the right books. They're not seeing the thinking that's behind it, which is, you know, it's been published. It's, you know, there are papers, there are books. You know, the ideology is out there for everyone to see. And also, you know, if you can, for one moment, take your eyes off, you know, American Idol and the X Factor. You can see changes happening ever so slightly, incrementally, all the time around you. But the problem is, people just don't have to. It's becoming. I genuinely think it's psychologically impossible for a lot of people to notice and to think and to see. I do, and that's one of the great horrors. They've rendered us stupid.
Well, most reporters get those calls that actually go to Bilderberg, so I'm just giving you a warning to let her know, since you're online, to just laugh
Hannah,
it off when they
you
call.
had your warning, Hannah.
Okay, so she's listening. Now, we appreciate your time. Do you have a website, books, writings, stuff you want to point people at?
Apart from yours, no. Do you know what? You know, I might start writing some more things on this subject. This is the first time I've tackled this subject in any way, and you know, it's certainly I didn't set out to Athens thinking I'd be detained twice by the police. So I might write some more. Then again, I don't want my dog threatened. So, you know, I might just go back to writing jokes about anyone.
Well, no, they're not threatening the dog. They will tell you, oh, you're there, just made yourself, it looks like, is that coffee or tea you're making there? Hello? Excuse me? And you're like wondering how they're looking at you. And it's like, that's right, bitch. I'm going to stab you and rape you to death. How's that sound? So I'm saying, and they'll say it just like that. So I'm just trying to give you an idea who these people are. I'm telling you, Mr. Skelton, I've been down the rabbit hole. You're starting to go down it. And you've opened up your first step into a wider world. And there's good things and there's bad things about it. But I'm just letting the listeners know, too, for folks, you know, you ever wonder about the New World Order and who they are? These are murdering criminals. And these are the bankers, we have this from inside Bilderberg, that are engineering the financial collapse. We said that 3 years ago today. We said they were going to engineer it, how they would do it, what they do with the stock market. We broke it all down. They rule the planet. And so we are here. This is happening. This is going on right now. And so I just want you to know that this is very, very serious. And the cop on the beat, he's just taking you to jail. He's probably not a bad guy. He's on a power trip. That cop is compartmentalized, too. His family's being destroyed. His future's being destroyed. His world's being destroyed by the very bankers he's criminally protecting. You know, he has to break a law and violate your free speech under the EU Charter and under the laws of Greece. They break the law and keep taking you to jail. Beat the rap, can't beat the ride. So they're committing crimes to destroy their own futures.
I've just thought of a book I'd like to recommend.
What book is that?
Well, it's a little bit odd. You might think me recommending it, but I picked up a copy of the diaries of Goebbels, the German propagandist from World War II, one of the most evil men of all time, but also one of the most brilliant psychologists. And these papers were rescued after the war, and almost by chance. And what's revealed in his diaries is just one of the early exponents of propaganda, of mind manipulation, of population control, giving and taking, guiding the public mind. And it's an extraordinary read. And I recommend everyone to just have a look at it, because you read it and you go, my God, this guy is you know, he's one of the groundbreakers there. He's one of the groundbreakers. Well,
you know who he cited? He cited Edward Bernays.
I heard that today, actually, funnily enough.
Yeah. Oh, so you were reading them? Yeah, I've actually read part of those. I didn't have time to read the whole book. Which book do you have? There's two books that I know of that have the writings of.
Do you know what? I don't know. It's an old tattered
Joseph
copy
Goebbels,
the secondhand bookshop.
Nazi propaganda guy. Stay there. Let's do one more segment if you can do it.